Good morning, hello, welcome to another edition of the KRT Racer Focus here on Zwift Community Live. Getting all booted up, ready to go here. We got our tech check 1, 2, all set to go here. Just getting a warm up in. Usually you don't get to see this part of the KRT Racer Focus, but always good to get in a warm-up before your race on Zwift. This can be really intense efforts, and they're often characterized by a really tough start. So sometimes I do a structured workout warm-up. Actually, it's called the pre-race 20-minute warm-up, and you just sort of ramp up progressively through your zones, about 2 minutes, stacking on about 50 watts each little set, and you culminate in a zone 5 for about 30 seconds. And what it does is, I mean, you're at a high cadence, and I think the goal of any workout session or race warm-up, just in super layman's terms, because I'm no expert, is the goal is to break a sweat before you have to. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get at, is get that your body sort of sends a message of discomfort, of heat, of sort of this unnatural state of pedaling and not going anywhere. Just trying to sort of stress that system a little bit, get some blood flow into the legs. Kurt Cadwell says good morning. Good morning, Kurt. So, what do we got going on today? We got one lap of the Watopia Figure 8 course, which is partially flat, partially hilly, about 18 miles total of racing, 28.9 kilometers. It is a good course for, I guess, your roller types, also your TT specialists. What really makes it tough is that climb over the Watopia Forward KOM as you come to about the halfway point of the race. It makes it really hard. I'm hoping to stay with the group until that point. I am racing the A category today. If you're just joining, thanks for stopping by. If you're seeing us here on Facebook Live, be sure to like and follow Zwift Community Live with notifications turned on so you know whenever this platform is broadcasting. Be glad to have you here. And if you're watching on any of the other services, Mixer, Twitch, YouTube, they all have their own version of that same setting. Go ahead and let us know what you think. Follow, subscribe, check the notification bell, whatever it may be. We'll be glad to have you back soon. So, just to rehash, I'm in the open world right now. When we're in the race, we'll be in a closed world where there won't be other riders like this around, because sometimes they can impact the draft and work to split up groups. So what I'm actually going to do is just let this auto select here, and then we'll be in the pen where we can continue our warm-up. Usually you don't get to see that, but now we're all set, connected up to the servers. Everybody's got their jerseys on. 3.5 minutes to the start. But the warm-up is really important, and sometimes I actually don't warm up at all and just get into it. And that is often a mistake. I would not recommend that method of racing on Zwift. But again, just to rehash, this is all about fitness. it's not about winning. You want to be in your best position to stress your fitness, to make your body work hard. So that's why we're warming up. We don't want to cause any injuries or anything like that. We're in the A category for today's race, which is for FTP 4 watts per kilogram and above. John Rich says, good luck Ian and Team KRT. Thanks, John. I see Peter and Glenn watching here as well. Hey guys, good morning. Top of the morning. We've got the luck of the Irish accent with us. But yeah, Zwift Community Live here today. A few other segments coming online recently. The Coach Hendy workouts are really successful using that group workout mode, where you can tune in live and see what the boys are talking about while you're working out with them. It's always good to understand the method to the madness when you're suffering in those situations. Yesterday they did lead out simulations, which with Greg Henderson, that is no joke. That man has made his money leading out the gorilla, Andre Greipel. Kurt says he hates that the starts are like a crit. It's flat out. Peter says smash it, of course. I'll do my best. But, you know, these starts they're coming from a long history, a 2-year long history of Zwift racing, which I don't think everybody remembers. So we're just about a minute out. Got to get our proper playlist going here with all the wub wubs and loud smashing noises, such that pain is only a state of mind. Here we go. Oh, this is a good song. All right, 30 seconds. So we're set to go flat out, as John Rich said. It's kind of coming from a long tradition. What we used to do is we just used to meet up. So we'd have a website and it would say, everybody get on at 6 a.m., do this course, and if you start early, you're disqualified. So there's a little bit of confusion there, and that's why we got to ramp it up, start out hard. So you want to hit the ground running here, get my proper scene going. Got Adam Webb from Team Vision, James Hodges, Brian Montgomery, and Yang Wu. It's going to be a tough one. And Lyons as well, from the old days. We go into the flat section of the course first. And there's already a big old split. Let these other boys worry about that and just try to stay steady. And look at that. Bridge has been made. The merging of the blob. John says he remembers the old days where you had to try to stop rolling as close as to the banner as possible. But now, thanks to Zwift HQ, we have the event module. So today we have staggered starts. Thanks for the ride on, Blame Techie. And we can stagger the starts for each category. So the A category is going first today, and then in a few minutes B will start, and so forth. A lot of KRT in the group. You can see our jerseys. Matches this real life kid. Or is it the other way around? Does this real life kid match the jersey? I don't know. Brett has a prediction. Let us know your predictions. Really good to see this race as a global affair. We got Jeff Creel from Australia. We have at least one from Sweden. Johan's in here. Johan Gren's in here, and then we also have several from China because it's an evening race for them, whereas it's an AM or noontime race for the rest of us. We've always had good support from the Asian riders, some of whom I've been racing with in this time slot since January of 2016. So just coming now, you can see my heart rate is low, 146. We've been going pretty easy, steady, 28 mile per hour. What I'm looking out for are two things, and they connect into one big thing. After we go through this little biodome or whatever, under the Jarvis tree, we make a right-hand turn and we go up. And then the up doesn't really stop until we get to the top of the climb. So we go up here and then it's false flat for about 2.5 miles, and then the climb starts in earnest. So you really want to be on top of your game for any of these. Oh, Adam. It's good though, like, you know, Adam's putting in some banter. I think that's great. As long as it's, you know, within some sort of respectful tone, which he's definitely got. Adam always game to make the race harder. But just like I have gotten to know a lot of these riders over the 18 months, 20 months we've been doing this, you get into that sort of banter on Strava after the race. It's a really great, positive community we've worked hard to build, and it's really all thanks to the racers for making it such good fun. We got HQ. Stephen Wu's in the group. He's got that Zwift employee badge. I'm tail gunning, hardcore. Michael wants to know if my watts per kilo is lower because of the draft. Yes, Michael, that is it. It also, I'm probably doing more raw watts, but I'm heavy. I weigh 200 pounds, 91 kilo. So, when I do 360, it's 4. When they do 360, in some cases it's well over 5. So like I said, my goal is to just stick with this bunch as long as I can. If I can make it to the base of the second climb I'll be very happy. And this is the false flat that's just always pretty tough. Those alien statues is where this race is gonna blow up. That's where we're headed. Gonna take another set of switchbacks here. Continue on our uphill rise. Pack is really pretty compact. Nobody's pushing too hard. We are going fast, but steady is where you want to be. On Tuesday, we had a really tough race where there were lots of attacks. So there was never really a chance to rest. Now some of you might be saying, oh, resting at 340 watts. That's not exactly right. But again, I weigh 200 pounds. So I'm sitting in tempo, heart rate, and I'm in a position. So at this point, you want to be in a good spot for the hill, and I'm not quite there. So I'm going to slowly apply a little power to try to get to the front, but I do not want to pop myself. I want to be at the front of the base so that I don't have to go as fast as these crazy dudes. There's always going to be somebody more strong than you, which is why racing is great. Push those boundaries. And I'm out of position. I'm holding position at 4.5 watts. So this is going to be a rough affair. See you all in a couple minutes. All right, we're over the top. This is what many expect from Zwift Racing. If you're not getting dropped at least some of the time, you might consider upgrading, because you can make it harder on yourself and get more fit. But once you upgrade, you can't go back. All right. Michael Yard is saying that the false flat is helping his training. We did have a long false flat on this course. Trying to wind back up here to solo TT pace. These guys, Hukuru and Tracy, are gonna get me 40 meters back. Glad to have some company here as we make the long way around. Thanks, Martin. Good question. Eugene Chan's got your answer over there. That is Zwift Academy. So this is what a lot of people experience in Zwift races. You hang on as long as you can, then you get dropped, and from there you assess the situation. Here, my judgment tells me that I need to stick with these boys. And maybe we can catch Musel and Rin Chan up the road. So we're gonna work together in this group. I saw them coming from behind, so I wasn't gonna try to go 1 against 2 to stay away. We're stronger together. Everyone on Zwift is stronger together. The rider that was with us just disappeared, which is unfortunate. Now it's just me and Tracy. Tracy doing a good turn on the front. It's really hard to not yo-yo. So my job is to stay behind Tracy and stay smooth, which is hard. He's doing well. And then soon here, his power will drop way off, and then I'll come around and do some work. If I can finish in front of Kingo behind me, that's good. Been riding with Kingo for a long time. He's kind of mid-weight like me. So he's not great on the climbs, but he ain't bad either. I'm mostly bad. So the boys out in front already got a 2-minute gap. Most of that from the hill. They did it about a whole minute faster than I. 1 hill to go. Got a ways to go to get there. About 4 miles. This is our second to last power-up opportunity coming up. So power-ups are allowed in the KISS races, and they come when you go through banners like this over top. Alright, I gotta keep on the pedals, give Tracy a break. He's my breakaway companion. We've just broken away off the back, which is the best way to break away. So now I'm just trying to stay smooth, over 350, not too far over 400. This is another little false flat coming up. All right, I'm gonna try to take a breather now. Behind Tracy. So you gotta get a good rhythm with your group. The smaller it is, the easier it is to organize. Big groups do not have a rotation like this. The more people in the group, the more entropy, and it doesn't really turn out like that. But now it's definitely Tracy doing work and me sitting on. It's the beauty of Zwift. All right, Martin Harn wants Karen to see the umlaut there, or the diphthong, whatever. Martin Heron wants to know about trainer difficulty. So trainer difficulty is actually a gradient slider which controls the magnitude of gradient simulation. So for example, at 0 on the difficulty slider means you're on a flat road. The gradient never changes, up or down. If it's on 100%, the gradient changes as much as possible. So, based on the software, if it says 10% on your screen, then your trainer is gonna simulate 10%. What it means is that you have to shift more. Shift gears, click up and down the cassette. So for that reason, well, that's not the reason. The reason, one of the main focuses of Zwift racing is to be smooth. So you don't want to just surge. Like, I'm coming onto the front, I'm not just going to stomp to 400 watts. I'm going to wind it up. That way my friend Tracy here is in the best position to sit on and get a smooth ride. So with smoothness being the goal, if your trainer difficulty is way up, then anytime you hit a hill or any incline, it's gonna jerk you in the legs, and it's gonna make you spike your power a lot. Some people might want that, but I don't. Especially when you're going down a hill, the resistance drops out. So sometimes you don't have any resistance, and it makes it really hard to be smooth. So I put my trainer at about 30%. So when I'm on medium graphics, it's right about the M in the parentheses. So at the end of the word medium. And I still feel the gradients kick in, but I might use like 3 or 4 gears instead of really having to mash the whole cassette. So there you go. A couple miles now to the climb. I'm not going to work with Tracy anymore. I'm just going to try to have as much energy as I can for the climb. My goal is as close to 500 watts for 2 minutes as I can get. That's about how long it takes to get over this hill, and then I should be able to keep on the gas afterward. If Tracy just rides away on the hill, then my plan is to pace it a little bit slower so that I have a little bit more to go for the 4-mile chase through the rolling hills, where I have a better chance of making a difference than on a hill, because I'm big. 193 centimeters, 6'4", so I'm pretty tall, which means I create a lot of wind resistance and a lot of gravitational resistance. So we're just working. This is the KRT Racer Focus. There's a lot of KISS Racing Team boys up the road. I'm sure they're doing a great job. We're focused on our race today, and that's pretty much the way you should always be focused in racing. Don't worry about other people. Ride your hardest. Try to do better than you did the last time, and that's it. Don't worry about who you beat. This is fitness, and we're lucky that it's gamified, but for the vast majority, this is Zwift racing right here. We had a really hard start. Sometimes there'll be more people in this gruppetto type situation, other times less. Excuse me, because the next couple minutes are going to be hard. Going up this hill out of the ocean, and then we don't get a break until we get to the top of the forward KOM. Tracy's not pushing me. which makes me worried that this hill is going to be tough. Tough pill to swallow for me. Alright, we're gonna swing around the bridge. That's gonna be it. We're going up the berg. I'll check the comments in a couple minutes. So I can feel the resistance even now. It's a tiny gradient. Ooh, not bad. I'll take that any day. Gotta stay vigilant. Attacks can come at any time. I want to maintain the illusion that I'm working. just gonna come to the front, wind it up. This isn't a straight downhill, there's some lumps. Thanks, Chad. Just want to keep it going, keep it rolling. Martin Heron. Right. You're welcome, James. Glad to have you all here. I can still feel Tuesday's race in my legs, which is crazy. That's how hard it was. So now, race is going. Not a great place to attack. Not a bad place, but he's going 6 watts per kilo downhill. Which is nice. But we can handle that. We got some gravitational assistance here. Counter him a little bit here, see what he does. Now we got a TT situation. Two mile to go, 13-second gap. Got a big old gap. 30 seconds. 1 mile to go. Just gotta keep it pinned. One more hill. That's it. Oh man, we're all done. Thanks Alex Lewis, appreciate it. James wants tips. James Solis wants to know about frame manufacturers for big, tall guys like us. Honestly, you need to keep an open mind about manufacturers, because you know, you might be tall like me, but you might have long legs. Like I have pretty normal length legs but a long torso, so I need one thing, you need another. There's really nothing that beats a pro fit. I'm not saying like pro like a racy geometry, I'm just saying like a professional fitting. There's nothing better than that. Let's see if I did crack the top 25. Got 26. Alright. It's okay. Happy with that. My average watch for the whole thing, 340 watts average. That's pretty good for me. So that might not be totally accurate. Some things change a little bit when we get into training peaks. So I'll hang out with you all for a while here on Zook Community Live, just a few minutes while I cool down. Frank, to keep answering your question, or James, there's another Frank Solis that I'm thinking of. James Solis, yeah, you really just want to go somewhere that maybe has a lot of choices and just get fit to something. I ride a 62 currently. I've thought about riding smaller bikes. I have a 58 as well, but that's like a fixed gear commuter bike. Never been fit to that bike. I just sort of set it up on my own, but I like the way it handles. This bike with the really tall head tube, that's the tube right in front under the handlebars. It's going up and down. It connects to your fork. I just feel like even going around a really mild curve that I have to like get my face in the stem to get the center of gravity down. So I sort of feel like maybe a racier geometry would be good. Here's Brian riding with me on the cool down. I'll get my glasses back on here in a second. So yeah, that was good. I'm happy with that race. I got dropped way earlier than I was expecting to, but these guys, now that we're getting more and more racers, it just becomes more and more competitive, especially at the front end of the race. So they were going real fast. I don't know how fast they did that first climb. You know, anything under 4 minutes is just really hard. So I got dropped there, and then Tracy and another guy caught up with me, but the other guy disappeared. And then Tracy and I stayed together, and he didn't attack me on the forward KOM, which, guess what guys, that's the place to attack. Is if you got a big guy with you, one of these raw watt diesels, that's the place to go, because it's just so steep that you guys can do like, you know, 6 and 7 watts per kilogram for less than 2 minutes. And I cannot do 6 to 7 watts per kilogram for 2 minutes. I can do like 4.5 or something like that. So I paced myself in that instance. I just matched, I matched Tracy there. And then as we went over the top, he attacked in the downhill, which was a good idea except for the fact that I weighed 200 pounds and I'm just gonna roll up to anybody on a downhill. And then as soon as he finished up, I countered. Here's Lookman, just riding his own ride. So I caught him in the downhill and then countered and then just went low cadence. Once I got that 4-second gap or whatever it was, I dropped the power up. Let me get Lookman here. Give Lookman a ride on. All you do is you click on their name. You got the mobile app, you can scroll through like this. And then you just give them that thumbs up. Lets them know you support them and their ride. But yeah, I was really happy with holding that TT pace all the way to the finish. I basically was just mashing like 75 cadence and like 360 watts or so for the last like 3 miles. And I actually pulled out a 30-second gap, which is pretty amazing. I'm not sure how that worked. I'm surprised because for the whole, I don't know, last 2 miles or so, Tracy was doing a higher watts per kilo than I was. But anyway, such is life. I'm happy with that performance. I feel good. I raced well for my abilities. These are the marks of a successful race. Sometimes it's about winning, but it's a personal win here today, so I'm happy to have that. And I'm sure a lot of the other guys had personal gains from this race as well. So that's what we're about here at KISS. The KISS Racing team. So I think the broader community is about. Happy to push ourselves. There's many ways to do it on Zwift. We got group workouts, we got social rides with a little bit of racing. Sometimes just getting on the bike is pushing yourself for that social ride. Solo challenges, trying to break 100 kilometers per hour. All kinds of ways to push yourself on Zwift. We're happy to bring those to you on Zwift Community Live. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Man, I don't like it when people say that, but it's so easy. Hit that like button, follow us, set up notifications so you know when we're live. Come and check us out in the KISS Zwift Road Race Facebook group if you're interested in doing these races. Any questions are always welcome. You can direct message me. I'll be glad to try to get you an answer. So I'm going to keep cooling down for a bit here. And we'll see you all next time here on Zwift Community Live. For the KISS Racing team, my name's Ian Anderson, signing out.